The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Most movies have a lot to say, but today's pick barely says anything at all. Amber and Scott are breaking down the mostly silent film Motor City, where they have to decipher a complex revenge plot without the help of much dialogue. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
By the time I'm done giving this intro, I will have said more words than this entire movie combined. Seriously, it works for some movies, but not this one.
Oh, I don't know about that. Let's go ahead and get started, and then we can explore that a little bit. For folks just joining, welcome to Cinema IRL. We are talking about Motor City, and it is a story of a guy who seems to be an ex-con of some sort. We start off, he's on probation, then he clears probation, and it looks like he's going to start his life anew. He proposes to his girl, and then a can of tear gas gets thrown through his window. He is arrested. The cops pull out bricks of coke from his car, and he is sentenced to 25 years in prison after a 3-month trial. His girl breaks up to him, goes back to her old boyfriend, who actually is a drug dealer, and the rest of the film is about his revenge.
Well, yeah. Like the old boyfriend was being mean.
In the very beginning, yeah,
Yeah,
the origin story was that he was mistreating her, Sophia.
Yeah, so who's the main character?
John.
Just call him
John.
So, yeah, John kind of took care of that and got her away from him.
Yeah, in a gruesome way. So Sophia was with this guy named Reynolds, and Reynolds came out and was kind of roughing her around a little bit, and John stepped in, saved her, basically ran a broken bottle down this guy's chest, left him kind of dying in a alley, and took the girl, and they've had a life together, and then he proposed. Now, to your...
Yeah, and so Reynolds, who is the actual drug dealer...
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you completely caught this. A drug dealer with a lot of money and a lot of stroke, you can tell. A bunch of bricks of cocaine planted in the car. So it's not like he was arrested for something he did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He was set up because this guy stole his girl, left him for dead in an alley, and this guy, Reynolds, who's the actual drug dealer, has friends in the police department and sent John to the clink as revenge and then won back Sophia. But to your earlier point about you saying more words in your intro than were the film, this was a fascinating experiment. So there was very little dialogue in here. There was a couple of words here and there, but for the most part, there was no dialogue for 1 hour and 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, so I wasn't kidding about the intro. The intro was 29 words. There was 27 words spoken in the entire movie. I was counting.
See, and it was I thought it was fascinating that you actually could tell a story. You could tell an entire movie with basically no dialogue.
Poorly.
But
Very poorly.
you followed along. Everything made sense. Like,
not really.
They moved the storyline along.
Why did Chief kill the detective?
Because he found John's ring in his material objects when he went off to jail, and it's like, why does he have the ring that he gave the girl? That doesn't make sense.
Because the girl threw it.
Yeah, on the other side of glass that he never would have seen or known. It's the reason he had it is because Reynolds, the guy who set him up, picked it up and basically set up a visit with him and gave it to him as a slap in the face of, yeah, your girl's with me now.
But why would that be material evidence?
Well, it's not material evidence. It's when you go into jail and they take all your personal objects and they put them in an envelope for when you're released and you get back your wallet and your $5 and your chapstick. It was that kind of envelope.
But how does that prove anything?
How did he get the ring?
Because Reynolds gave it back to him as
but that's
as a screw you.
Yeah, but that's the association. That's where the detective actually was like, why does this guy have this ring? And that's what he was bringing to his boss of like, why is this ring in his possessions for prison. Why is this ring? How did he get this ring? And the detective was looking around and digging around, and that's why he got killed, is because he was looking into the situation. But anyway, let's...
That's horribly unclear.
Oh, I didn't think it was
wasn't
at all.
sure. Like, at first I thought that guy was the district attorney.
What guy?
The detective.
Oh, yeah,
The way he was dressed, he felt more like a lawyer
No, he was a detective.
than a detective. He was extremely well dressed for a detective. I understand that detectives do tend to dress nicer, but this was even above and beyond for a detective.
It was clear to me.
Especially one living in Detroit. No offense, Detroit.
Well, he was in the bullpen in a cop shop. It was pretty clear to me. But anyway.
Well, yeah, later. But when he was first on the scene, when we first saw him,
Okay.
I thought it was the chief of police coordinating with the district attorney.
Okay. All right. So let's get into our first what would you do? You are hanging out in an alley, having a smoke, and some girl kind of in a somewhat drunken state comes stumbling out, and you share a cigarette, and out comes this guy and basically looks at you saying, oh, and then you kiss the guy. So in this movie, Sophia kisses John, and then out comes Reynolds and basically like, what the hell is going on here? You're my girl. Why are you with this guy? Pulls her aside, kind of starts yelling at her, throws something at her because he's mad. And then there's the altercation with John and Reynolds where John doesn't kill him by stabbing him in the knife with this broken bottle, but runs the broken bottle down your chest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's left him for dead, but it's left a scar.
Yeah, and he's gushing blood and he's faint and losing the color in his body, in his face. So what would you do if you were Reynolds? You come out and you see your girl smacking with somebody else.
Me?
Yeah, that's what would you do?
Someone who doesn't view women as property?
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to be happy, but if she's going to cheat on me while I'm at the same location as her, then I feel like I'm getting a pretty strong signal here that this chick doesn't want to be with me. So I'm not going to try to force her to and throw things at her and throw a cigarette at her and try to rough her up.
Okay, well, what if you were with her for a while? You just be like, oh, well, I guess she didn't want to be with me.
I'd probably call her an effing bee. For sure.
Also, too, it's hard to know how much...
Or whore. Horror works as well.
Okay. It's hard to know how much of that is she doesn't want to be with me versus, like, she stumbled out drunk into an alley and kind of had a connection with a guy and started locking lips with him.
Yeah.
So what would you do if you were John then? So you're the other guy in this scenario. You're kissing this girl and all of a sudden this guy comes out and grabs her around, starts pushing her around and yelling. And you were just like, hey, I was in the alley making out with this girl. Who's this guy? Oh, it's her boyfriend. What do I do?
The first thing I would do is I'd kind of be like slightly apologetic to Reynolds and be like, dude, I didn't know. I had no idea.
I didn't know your girl was a whore.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Basically, you're not really apologetic because it's not something you did. You didn't cause that, but still the situation. Because you didn't do anything wrong. But
yeah, you didn't know.
About the time that Reynolds starts putting hands on her, that's a problem. And I am the person who would do what John did. I don't tend to let shit like that slide.
Okay.
Now, that said, dude did have a couple of fairly large bodyguards with him. So, as much as I might not want to let it slide, I might look at it and be like, it's kind of like the idea of you've left something priceless in your house as it's burning down. And you want to go back and get it, but you just know it's already fully engulfed in flames. And you can try, but you're not going to get it. Like, you try anyway. You want to, but you do have to say discretion is the better part of valor. So if it's me, who is considerably smaller and less skilled in the art of hand-to-hand combat than John, I get away, call the police.
And we don't know exactly what John's crime was going in. We know early on in the film, he has finished his parole And when he gets that new leash on life, he then proposes to Sophia. So it seems like they've been together for a while. They're happy. And she says yes, although she doesn't use words because there's no words in this film. And then that's when the tear gas comes in. And he gets drug off, and she gets very angry. And initially she's scared and shocked, but then shortly when he's being detained for questioning or something, she looks at him through the one-way mirror and then basically says, I loved you, I loved you.
Well, no, she says it exactly once. I loved you. Those are the first 3 of the 27 words.
Yes, and throws the ring at the window, and then that's where Reynolds comes in. Obviously, someone at the cop shop picked up the ring, gave it to him, and then he basically threw it back at John, basically saying, yeah, well, here's the ring. She's not going to be with you. And then makes an effort to court her, woo her, and then she comes back to him.
Which is where words 4 and 5 came out, which was, well, and hey. By her and him.
Yeah.
It's thrilling dialogue.
Yeah. Easiest gig ever where you don't have dialogue to memorize. But she ends up getting back together with him, and then they get married. Ignoring gender roles here, what would you do if you were Sophia? So your guy has been thrown in jail for 25 years for having a bunch of bars of Coke in there. You think he's obviously done it because you're like, I loved you. How could you do this? Even though she didn't say all those words. But then you can tell she's delinquent on her rent. She gets an eviction notice. And then the guy comes back. Reynolds is like, hey. And they wind up seeing each other again and then get married. If you were Sophia, would you just go back to the guy that you had left? Like in this whole scenario of everything that's happened?
She made a financial decision.
Yeah, she did. But she also seemed happy. She seemed to like this life now. She had a big house, nice clothes. And
I didn't. Money can't buy happiness. Wait, no bullshit. It can. It actually can buy happiness. Anyone who tells you otherwise is
See, but here's the irony is she breaks up with John in a, you've been arrested for having all this Coke. I loved you. I'm breaking up with you. How could you do this? But then she goes back with her old boyfriend, who is a huge drug king. Does she not know? Based on the way he dresses, you can tell he's a drug king. He's got silky shirts and chains and.
But what? He's not getting arrested. Like she didn't break up with John because he was dealing in drugs. She broke up with him because he got arrested.
But he wasn't. He wasn't dealing in drugs. He was set up.
So maybe, and that's maybe the whole thing. Like with Reynolds, it's out in the open. Yeah, this is what I do, and it looked like, because it was a frame job, like you did this behind my back. You were doing this, and I
don't know, because she didn't get to use her words, so we don't know exactly what that looks like.
Exactly, and that's why. Listen, the whole no words thing worked for Flo. It worked for Robot Dreams.
Oh, no, Flo the movie, yeah.
But I didn't think it worked for this. I just there's too many complexities.
I thought it was fine. It was, even if some of those details had filled in, it was a mediocre film at best. But I thought the no dialogue thing was interesting.
It was novel.
Yeah, it was novel.
I kind of came in at first. My initial thought on intro was going to be, well, this is a new one, because normally when a movie's bad, it makes for a good episode for us because they made a lot of bad decisions. Well, unfortunately, because they weren't freaking talking, we have no idea about their actual mental frame of mind and things that they were going through.
Oh, I think
so it was a bad movie where it's a bad episode.
I got that. I don't know if you're not as perceptive as I am. Maybe
I'm perceptive. They just.
You wanted to have your hand held a little bit
more.
Well,
it's not have my hand held. It's that you're guessing. And so would I be.
I think most of it was pretty clear. It was clear enough.
Which is partially why it was a bad movie. Like, it was this trope is heavily overdone as it is. So
we follow John in prison. He's got long hair. He's disgruntled, and he gets a letter or a note from Reynolds of basically like, had a great honeymoon, and then he realizes, wow, my girl is now married to this guy that she used to be with.
Like,
what would you do if you were John and you got a letter like that?
I'd be ready to effing kill that guy. Because here's the thing, man. The guy already won.
Yeah.
He got you put away for 25 years. If you're Reynolds, like, that's just an extra dick move. Like, okay, I wanted you put away to get you out of the picture so I could get the girl back. But now just taunting the guy who's doing 25 years in prison? Like, all you're doing is begging him, like, motivating him to figure out a way out of this situation and effing kill you.
If you're in prison for 25 years, I wouldn't be terribly concerned that all of a sudden you're going to be on the outside hunting me down.
Well, yeah, exactly, for the most part, but that's the thing. Okay, you do 25 years in prison. If I got 25 years in prison right now, I'd be getting out when I was 75. That's not to say you can't have a life starting at 75, but when you're just kind of starting over at 75.
But the character wasn't that age.
Maybe a little younger. 25, if you're going to put me in there for 25 years, I'm going to look for a way to escape. I'm not saying I'm going to find one, but I'm looking.
Okay.
It's effectively eating up the rest of your life. So why not give it a gamble?
Yeah, that's why inmates claw at walls with spoons is to create tunnels to escape. That's kind of the thing.
Good Shawshank.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
Pull back there. Yeah, what? Okay, you caught me and you give me 10 more years? Okay. 85 instead of 75.
Yeah, that character was probably like 35 or something like that.
And you're not getting out for good behavior. That's for sure. Like the entire police force was basically on the take. And they were going to make this guy's life a living hell. Like, they literally brought him to his cell. And as a welcome to jail, 3 cops just went in and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he walked into a cell and they followed him in with their bats. Okay, so the one scene in here that I don't know if we want to do what would you do with it, but just is noteworthy.
Oh, hang on. Are you? Is this would this be something that I would especially approve of?
What do you mean?
Based on who I am as a person?
I don't know.
Maybe not. Go ahead.
I don't know what's happening. So there was a scene toward the end where John escapes. He is hunting down Reynolds to get his revenge. And it turns out he finds Sophia, who found out about the ring and everything. She gets upset. She tries to leave Reynolds, and Reynolds, his goons get her, and they basically keep her around but dope her up on his drugs, so she's out of it. And
I want to note, though, since we've zipped past it, I thought you were talking about when he made a shiv out of candy.
Oh.
Like, the dude made a shiv out of candy.
Yeah, he melted it and then poured it into a little mold. Yeah, that was creative. It worked.
Yeah, I kind of want to make a shiv out of candy now.
Legal disclaimer, people do not make a shiv out of candy. Don't make a shiv out of anything.
Yeah, you shouldn't make a shiv, but...
Don't.
Or
we're anti-shiv here.
Just make a mold. And
no, just
put candy in it. Now I just want to make candy molds.
No, make a seashell-shaped soap. That's what you should use molds for. Seashell-shaped soap.
I want to use candy.
Seashell-shaped soap. Seashell-shaped soap. Seashell-shaped soap.
That is
that's compelling.
That is thrilling dialogue.
So no, I was saying. So he escapes out of jail. He finds her. She's all doped up out of it. He gets her out of the house, and they're running away with her. He has not exacted any sort of revenge on Reynolds. He has saved her. They're almost off the property, and Reynolds sees them, shoots at John, and Sophia manages to get coherent enough to throw herself in front of the bullet to save John, and she dies.
Oh, I don't think that's what happened at all. I think it was I don't think it was that selfless act. I think it was sort of a comedy of error.
No, she flung herself around.
Because when when John heard that there's was trying to figure out what was going on behind him, and he turned while he was holding her. And it just happened to be that he threw her in front of the bullet,
No.
but he didn't have enough time to react to something like that. Like he certainly did it with no intention.
No, that's not what happened. She moved her. She could see that Reynolds was holding up the gun and was going to shoot John, and she moved her body to save John.
Agree to disagree.
Huh. Okay. Anyway, so at this point, Sophia's dead. John is devastated, and how he is really exacting his revenge. So the whole rest of the movie is planting bombs and stuffing shells and all this kind of weaponry and pipe bombs and everything to get Reynolds, because now Sophia's dead. But the scene I was specifically talking about is, so we have the police chief or whatever, the head of the police department or higher up in the police department, who is part of this web of corruption and in on the shenanigans to keep John in jail, and he's working for Reynolds. So this guy has a run-in with John. And as they're the security guard, or the not security guard, the cop wants to keep John from hurting Reynolds. And okay, so that's a long setup to the fact that they have this fight that ends up happening in an elevator. And let me tell you, if you have this knockdown, drag out fight in the confines of an elevator, oh my God. Now, first of all, this was the most gruesome fight ever. Like, you and I were holding each other's hands and screaming and squeezing each other's hands and jumping and squirming. And if you're in an elevator and you can't run away, and there's a gun and there's a knife, and that was one heck of a scene.
Yeah, you can't run, so you're...
You only have a couple of feet of space to...
Yeah, you have no flight, so it's all fight. So
that was one heck of a scene.
Not that either one of them would have turned to flight, but...
Yeah, that was one heck of a movie scene. Definitely very memorable. So what would you do if you're stuck in an elevator?
And it did yield one of the 27 words.
Oh.
That was just when he got stabbed through the foot.
Yeah.
That was the one audible word you could truly make out.
Yeah, that was pretty gruesome. So
the words in this movie were noteworthy.
So what would you do, just going back to a moment ago where Sophia dies? I think it's John shielding himself or moving or whatever.
No, he wasn't shielding himself.
Well, he was moving.
He was moving. He was trying to react to prepare for what could happen.
Okay.
And he was just a little behind.
Okay.
And pardon this, but it was a bang bang situation.
I don't even know what that means.
Like, it was too fast to really react or do anything. Like,
okay.
He certainly...
Well, you know what?
I do not believe for a second that John was trying to put her in front of the bullet.
No. I misspoke. We don't even need to discuss that further. I misspoke. But if you saw this film, I would like to know if you think that either I interpreted this correctly in the fact that she actually did maneuver herself when she saw Reynolds with a gun to protect John, or if you think Scott is correct in the fact that it just kind of happened because of the way John was moving.
She wasn't Sophia in a position. She was incredibly out of it.
She was, but she still moved in front of the bullet. Anyway, let us know what you think if you did see this movie. So what would you do if you were John at that point? You've realized that your love of your life is in this drugged up state. You go to rescue her and she gets shot. What do you do at that point?
Scorched earth. I am going full scorched earth. I don't care about the law. I don't care about anything. I dedicate my life to finding, preferably torturing, and killing that guy.
Yeah, and
I'm not joking. That's not me speaking hyperbole. That is literally what my life would become.
And you're good at research. I'm sure you can come up with...
Yeah, and I could not care less what the consequences were.
And that's what John does. And he does ultimately find Reynolds. There's a car chase, but Reynolds gets away.
This was ridiculously personal. They were pounding out pennies to put into shotgun shells. So you basically have these little, instead of using buckshot, these little things, you have basically these spinning metal discs that are flying at you at an insane speed. So they're just, these discs are just cutting into you.
Yeah.
Like it's not just designed to kill you. It is designed to kill you in the most painful way possible. And he put the ring in one of them. Yeah,
John does have an opportunity to shoot at Reynolds, and boy, does his face get messed up. But at the end of the day, Reynolds escapes, and maybe about 2 decades pass.
I think it was more than that. It looked like it was more like 40 years. I mean, it was, they were not young people. Yeah. And John does finally find Reynolds, who has disappeared at that point. And I was like, it took a while to find you, but bang, bang, you're gone. Yeah. Cuts off his oxygen and then shoots him. Nearly 1/3 of the movie's entire dialogue came right at the end. Yeah. When Reynolds said, I loved her. And then John said, I still do. Yeah. Bang, bang!
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.